your small businesses by ordering to go, buying gift cards, and shopping local online. Visit Verizon.com/payitforwardlive for more information. So since the launch of the league's social justice initiative, the NFL has contributed more than $44 million to social justice to date. And today, the league announced 9 new and renewed National Inspire Change recipients. So guys, imagine this, messing with Bill Belichick, right? It's tough to imagine that. I get it. Seems like not a really great idea. But back in the day, there was one brave soul who was willing to do it. Here's more with Matt Light and Willie McGinnis.
You were one of the only guys who had enough guts to prank Bill Belichick, man. Do you remember the computer and the mouse and the prank you did on Bill?
Now listen, you may call it guts. My wife, though, on a regular basis would say, honey, please don't do that. He's going to fire you this time. He's going to cut you, and you're not going to have a job. Yeah, so the mouse one, we're in training camp, and I had found online, and this is back in the day when these things weren't big, but I found a mouse that you plugged into your computer, and I walked into Bill's office when he was in a staff meeting, and I replaced his mouse with a shocking mouse. And I'm going to tell you right now, I totally forgot about it the next morning, and I walk in, and everybody's tired and beat up from training camp, and I see Bears, who is his assistant right there. You know how we used to walk right past his office, and he's like, hey, Light. Now, Bears had no idea that I did this, but the minute I walk in, he says, Light, you went a little too far on this one. Yeah, so that did not go well. He lost all of the information on his computer. He was angry at me for about a month. I had to run a little extra in practice, but we made it through it.
You know what? And he actually kind of laughed it off as he was torturing you and torturing everybody else with the laughs. And then you didn't stop. Didn't you do like one of his pins? You went back and got one of his pins too?
Yeah, so the best part is having veterans like you on the team. You walk in, you're the new dude. It's like, hey, Light, get this ball signed by everybody. I need this for my charity event or for a friend. So I took it upon myself that okay, I got to go up and I got to get Bill's signature. So I remember taking a ball up and I handed the ball and I said, one of the vets asked me to get this ball signed, coach, and I give him the pin, and he looks at the pin funny, and he hits it, and it flies the heck out of him. And I turn around, and I'm like, oh, come on, guys, like they set me up. We had a lot of fun. We definitely enjoyed our time in New England.
It's hilarious, man, and of course things have changed, man. You were real big, the Light Foundation, man. You've done a lot for the community, for kids. You've always been one of those guys that had that passion to give back. For I don't know how many years, man. You've raised hundreds and hundreds of thousands through the Light Foundation. Talk about some of the things that you're doing now, or your latest venture in giving back.
So we, look, we were so fortunate. My first 3 years in the league, 5 years in the league. Really, we're going to Super Bowls, we're winning. We launched the Light Foundation at that time, and the mission was to work with kids through the outdoors and help make an impact through leadership camps and getting kids out of their comfort zone and pushing them to do more. And we raise money throughout the year, and right now it's tough. But, one of the things that we just opened up is an opportunity for people to go down to Tampa Bay in November, on November 8th, and see the Tampa Bay Bucks take on the New Orleans Saints, which is going to feature 2 pretty darn good quarterbacks. And
I would say,
yeah, they're all right, and they're opening up. That'll be the second time they play each other. And this is an opportunity. If people go to GameDayTampa.com, they'll see where they can, for easy money, $10, they get 10 chances, win a trip of a lifetime. And if you're a football fan, what's better than getting the opportunity to go to a game and after the game meet Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Gronk, because obviously Brady had to take his buddy down there with him. It's $10. If you don't win, if you want to spend more, you can get more chances. But you'll be helping out the Light Foundation in our mission, and we really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having you on, brother. You're doing some great things, man. And I just want to go out in style. You have a lovely voice. Could I please get a little afternoon delight to take us on out of here?
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. Motto's always been when it's right. Why wait until the morning and a cold night? That's what you do when you don't know the words. But God love you, man.
I love you, man. I appreciate you, man. I miss you, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
All right. Good to see you.
More singing. I nominate Matt Light for the NFL Network charity talent show, which isn't necessarily a thing yet, but it should be. So let's make that happen. As for the 2020 Patriots, the focus is obviously on the quarterbacks. And Bill Belichick caught up with Rich Eisen to talk about their second-year man.
What can you tell people about his potential readiness for the season, what you have seen of him that the rest of the world really has not and is wondering a lot about, quite frankly?
Well, Stid worked really hard last year. Was our backup quarterback the entire season. And I know he's working hard in the offseason. He's, made a lot of progress in terms of understanding our offense and understanding opponent defenses, like all players do from year one to year two. So I'm sure he'll get out there and be ready to go, be prepared, compete hard, and we'll see where it takes us.
So Bucky Brooks and Charlie Casserly back in here with us. And Bucky, it sounds like Bill Belichick sounds feels pretty comfortable with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. And judging on what you wrote on NFL.com from your article, it sounds like you're pretty optimistic about what he brings to this Patriots offense too. So share with the class a little bit your thoughts.
Hey, I really like Jarrett Stidham and what he potentially could do in the Patriots offense. He's smart, he's tough, he's talented. Those are the things that have really served the Patriots well when you looked at some of the guys that have filled in. Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Castle. When I think about Jarrett Stidham, what I really like about him, this is a big-time recruit that went to Baylor, then found his way to Auburn. He is a guy who can use all areas of the field. But when you see him in the Patriots offense last preseason, completed 67% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. The key stat, he averaged 8.1 yards per attempt. So when you think about the Patriots offense, quick rhythm throws with a mix of play action passes, he's going to push the ball down the field between the numbers, but also to the sideline. He's a really, really good player. I think they're going to be fine with him. Think about the old school Patriots, the early 2000s version. I think that's the part that we'll see for the Patriots.
Yeah, a lot will be up to Josh McDaniels as well to kind of tailor this offense around Jarrett Stidham. But Charlie, how do you think this offense will really change with Stidham at quarterback?
I think it's going to see 3 things here. One, I think they're going to simplify the offense. He's a smart guy, but hey, Tom Brady was around forever. They had sight adjustments with the receivers. I don't think you'll see that. Maybe you read one side of the field, deep to short. Now, get him outside the pocket. That's something fans will see. Take advantage of his athletic ability, bootlegs. And the third thing, he has a much stronger arm than Brady. So to me, you want to test that arm deep. Now, the problem is they don't have any experienced deep receivers. 2 young guys on the roster that can run, Devin Ross, Damiere Byrd, but they're inexperienced. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to acquire a speed receiver that can get the ball deep, stretch the field, take that double coverage away, the safety down low, and at least take some shots with Stidham deep.
Yeah, with the wide receivers that they have now, Mo Sanu, he's in a contract year going into one. You have N'Keal Harry going into his second year. But bottom line, it's going to be tough to replace Tom Brady for any quarterback out there. Gentlemen,
to Will Fuller, and that seals the deal. Game over.
Time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. And every year, Deshaun Watson continues to show us why he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. The addition of Laramie Tunsil to the O-line was a much-needed upgrade last season, though. Watson was pressured on only 22% of his dropbacks in 2019, a career low. However, there's been a slew of high-profile changes to the roster this offseason. The biggest surprise, in case you missed it, trading DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona for David Johnson and a second-round pick. Despite adding some additional pieces around Watson, the question remains still, are the Texans a playoff team? Here's George Shahuri from PFF.
The road to the playoffs is only getting harder for one of the brightest young stars in the entire NFL. Chosen 2 spots behind Super Bowl champ Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson now finds himself battling the odds just to make the playoffs. Watson has to deal with the 6th hardest schedule of opponents according to PFF's ELO power rating, and he's got to do so with Brandon Cooks, the 29th highest graded wide receiver over the last 3 seasons, in place of DeAndre Hopkins, who ranked 2nd among all receivers over that time span. Deshaun's supporting cast took a giant step backwards, while the division rival Colts and Titans both improved. So what can Watson do to get back to the tournament? The short answer is make quicker decisions. Since entering the league, Watson's 3.1 second average time to throw is the longest in the NFL. That's right, no quarterback took longer. And as a result, he's been under pressure more than any other quarterback and taken sacks at the 2nd highest rate, on nearly 10% of his dropbacks. Last season, Watson ranked 6th in PFF grade when making a decision in less than 3 seconds, but he ranked 18th when taking 3 or more. Watson has 3 fast wide receivers and can take advantage of his above average accuracy throwing 10+ yards downfield. He just needs to make those decisions faster. Watson may also need to carry the rock a little bit more. The Texans called his number on just 21 designed quarterback runs last year. That's only 6 more than Jimmy G. Lamar Jackson had 119. The Texans are underdogs to make the playoffs this season, but Watson is no stranger to being overlooked. Don't be surprised if he puts the team on his back and makes a return to Arrowhead for a chance at playoff redemption.
All right, let's bring in former Texans GM Charlie Casserly. You just heard what PFF had to say. He said the Texans are underdogs to get back to the playoffs. What do you think, Charlie? Who does Deshaun Watson need to rely on to get back to the postseason?
Well, I'll tell you what, Brandon Cooks has got to come up big for him. This is a proven 1,000-yard receiver. Now, to me, what they're trying to do is emulate Kansas City, have enough speed receivers on the outside to put pressure on the other team's corners that they don't have enough corners to cover, whether it's Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, or even the slot, Randall Cobb. Now, the biggest adjustment to me is Deshaun Watson, and I will not run Deshaun Watson. They don't run him on purpose. They want to save him. However, he's going to have to change what he does. Right before, he relied upon one receiver, okay? DeAndre Hopkins. He was a go-to guy in all situations. When it broke down, they went to him. Now he's going to have to spread the ball around, so that's going to change what he can do. Can he do it? Sure, he can do it, but that's going to change the focus of the offense. But at the end of the year, Cooks has got to have a big year for him. It's not catches, it's drawing the coverage to open up other people sometimes.
Yeah, and an improved defense would go a long way, too, in a division that has the Titans, who are a game away from the Super Bowl, and the Colts now, who have Phillip Rivers. Charlie, thank you.